Josh, how does Enoch and the apocalypse of weeks relate to the division of time?
Yeah, so this is really cool. In the book of Enoch, which was found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, there's a prophecy called the apocalypse of weeks. And just for this specific prophecy, it splits up time a little differently into what's called weeks. But these are periods of 700 years. So each day of the week would be 100 years long. And you can read through the prophecy, and it spans 7,000 years. And we right now would be in roughly the middle of the 9th week. Every week before ours, I mean, it talks about the Reformation. It's really specific. And these were found. Somebody might say, well, maybe that was faked. But these were found in Qumran. They couldn't have been faked. So it's at least that old. There's no way that somebody could have known all this stuff. And so just for that prophecy, it splits up time a little differently. But it's so interesting because it says in our week, this would be the week where all the stuff basically we read in Revelation will happen, and the judgment of the angels, and then in the final week, within that week would be the kingdom. But supposedly that the kingdom is supposed to start in this week. So we'll see, but it's really interesting how specific and how accurate the previous weeks in that prophecy are. And I write a whole chapter. I include the whole prophecy in the book and go into great detail about a lot, all of it, and it's just really interesting. So we're living in exciting times, and I think it's things like that that prove that.
Ken, what are some examples of prophecies in the Testament of the patriarchs?
Ooh, lots of them. Some of the interesting things that I found was the idea that when the Messiah comes the first time, there will be a new canon. Mm-hmm. It'll be comprised over the teachings about prophecy about the Messiah, like Matthew 24, the history of how it gets started, which is Acts. And then there's going to be this Benjamite that actually writes a series of epistles that explains everything. And that's the writings of Paul. And it's interesting when you look at Acts now and you see Paul going in saying, hey, I'm the apostle to the Gentiles because this is what's going on. They all said, yeah, you look like the guy that fulfilled the prophecy, all right. Yeah, right hand of fellowship. Yeah. And it's amazing to see that. And there's a lot of other stuff, like the virgin birth we talked about.
Oh, Testament of Aaron.
Yes.
You got to tell them about that one.
Yeah, the Testament of Aaron is amazing because they all predicted that Levites would reject the Messiah. The Testament of Aaron, now this is Moses' brother, understand that. Okay. Moses' brother writes his last will and testament to his kids and says basically this: if you want to be in God's grace, I know you're going to reject the Messiah as a whole, but if you want to be in God's grace, have nothing to do with the nails. Wow. Now, what does that mean? Nobody would know what that means back then.
That's kind of mind-blowing.
Yeah. I think we know what that means.
Yeah, of course, we do. But
so don't have anything
powerful
to do.
stuff.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you do with that if you're Jewish?
Do you put all this in your book
right.
so people can dig it out?
I think it's important.
It is important.
A lot of Messianics are now, or a lot of Jews now are becoming Messianic because they don't want to do the Christian thing, but they look at the scrolls and say, I'm not exactly sure about it, but one thing I am sure, I've been lied to.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And I want the answer.
Yeah.
That's happening all over now.
Wow.
That is such a sign of the end times.
It really is.